Okay, this is going to be a video on graphs. If, some of this is repetitive, and please don't watch this if it's too simple. The first one is going to be simply using the index function to choose various graphs. Now, I have this, what I think is a wonderful database. We're going to get the same database for US, by the way. I wish I could get it for Europe and Asia, but we have a daily generation. For US, I only have monthly generation. And we have the individual power plants, the capacities of the plants. We have the reasons for outages, and you can really start to tell a story about what's happened in Nigeria and this idea that you can just build power plants to solve the problem we can see is just, excuse me for saying this, but bullshit. So now what we're going to do is first let's make I want to make just a graph of every single one of the series. So this is going to be easy. We'll make a drop-down box. Okay, and in the drop-down box, we'll put all of these, and we'll just select, and we can just graph all of these series. Now there'll be a couple of data problems that I'll have to fix. Now after that, let's do the same thing, except this time, let's graph the average for the month, and the average for the quarter, and the average for the year. And what we want to do is put a little drop-down box that allows us to do that. So in the chart analysis, the very first thing, let's just copy the dates, okay? Okay, and Shift Control 3, of course, for making the dates. Okay, now if we have dates, it's gonna kind of if we skip a month, there'll be a blank in the dates and all this. And now let's count how many we have. So let's do a little bit of tricks on this. Excuse me, I just want to go control. Why can't I? Okay, control page down, control function page down for me. Oh, what an idiot I am. Okay, so there are 67 different things we could graph. Okay, now the problem is if we make a drop-down box, we need to have these in vertical order. So I just learned this really the other day. If we want 60, how many were they? There were 67, I think, right? Down here. 67. Okay. So if we put 1 and we put Alt-EIS and then go to Control-C, Alt-C for columns? Okay. And then we go to tab over to 67 and press OK. We'll get 67. And then, how does this work? No. Well, I'll have to do it like this one. I'll have to put a little A here. So I'm sure there's a way to do that. Okay. Let's put equal transpose and go to the to all of these and press Shift Control Enter. Now we've got a list of every possible graph we'd like to make. Okay, and one problem is that I really should say that these are energy, and down here these are capacity. And so let's do that because I think we can do it like this. Okay, equal transpose. Okay, and we go to this one, and then we put an and sign, maybe a couple of, whoops, never tried this one before, by the way, it probably won't work, and transpose, and we, excuse me, now we get the, oh, come on, I'm going to put the line just above, so let's make sure we take these, and if it's blank, it shouldn't really matter, should it? So we'll put the available capacity, and we'll put this, and it worked. That's a big argument for the transpose versus the paste special transpose. Okay, now we'll go to the developer. If you haven't gone to the developer, how many times do I have to say this? You go to the file, options, customize ribbon, developer, okay? And get a drop-down box, and I'm so sick of these gimmicks because what is my life? Just a bunch of gimmicks, okay? And then we format the control and this. While I'm doing this, can I make a comment? You know, if you hate my videos, that's fine. But why this stupid like? I don't care about stupid likes, but I do care about dislikes. You know, if the videos don't work, just email me. Why do you have to put a stupid little dislike thing? Okay, so that's this one, and then we have the that upset me. And then we put this one, and we put that, okay, and then we press OK. And then we put the this one, and you know, if you want to get list all 67, I suppose you could put 67 here. Okay. So now we'll just have a graph, and we'll be able to get any one of these. Okay, and all we do is how about for the title of the graph, we'll put index, and we just select this. So of course the brother of the drop down box is the index, and then we put equal index, and we go to our summary page. Come on, get over there. And then we select that and go to the wherever my analysis was, and we press the F4 button, because obviously when you copy it down, you're going to do this. And then I get a reference for some stupid reason. What did I do? Did I just have a reference on that particular one? I hope not. Well, let's see. Look at that. We have some references now. Oh no. Okay, well, why? There's something wrong here. Okay, just a minute. Let's do that again. Index. And I don't know what I did wrong. Select, shift, get all of this. Isn't that what I did? And we put this in. This F4. We got a reference. Okay, and let's see. Is AES generation a reference? AES generation is not a reference. And just a minute. This is so simple and I can't get it right. Just a minute. I gotta pause. Well, that was very stupid, because I just had there was a space in one of the things. So, see. I was really thinking, God, what is wrong with me? I can't even do an index anymore. That's about as easy as we can do it now. Okay, so let's just, if we want this graph, then we just select this area, press F11, and we get this graph. We have a gap here in the data. I know I have a gap. I didn't get it. And then we can go to our chart analysis page. I don't want this one anymore. And these are some of the charts we're going to make. We're going to make just kind of a summary of all the charts. I'm going to make a generation summary. We're going to look at the capacity factor of each plant. We're going to look at the hydro kind of analysis. So I think if you're studying electricity, this is a very interesting kind of thing to do, but mainly it'll be about just making graphs. Okay? So then we have, so now we can look, okay, what happened to this plant? It kind of came down. Why did this plant come down? The issue will be, is it due to water? If it's due to something else, look at that. We had some really high generation a couple of times. And this is our generation. And the real issue here is, you know, this is in between here is where they privatized. Right here is where they privatized. The generation went down and then up. Maybe these people were fixing the plant and it went up. It's very, you know, kind of looking at what really the story of privatization and whether you can fix this and what the average availability rates were at all of these periods. That's what we're really going to study now. Instead of doing this, you can also make another just a drop-down box. So just make this one and click on one of these little things. What I said drop-down box, I meant a spinner box, didn't I? Or should we make even more gimmicky, make one of these things? Okay, I think, and we can make this go from 0 to 67 and make our crucial rule in this case, which is to go to this one, back to this one, and click on the same number. So we can manage this number either with a spinner box. Okay, of course we need to go up. And that was really stupid to put 0 in, wasn't it? So we need to put 1 in. And then we go to this one and go to format control and to put 0, not 0, 1 to 67. And we go to the summary page, back to the chart analysis page, click on this one, press OK. Let's try this. I have no idea how this is going to work. So we'll copy this to our series chart, you know, and then where do you want to put this? Maybe we could put this over here. Does it work if it's bigger? I guess. So does this work? We can just kind of click. I don't really like this at all. We can click through the generation of the different power plants. This power plant doesn't seem to be very affected by the privatization. This one had a funny thing we'll fix. This one seemed to be influenced, but we probably had more capacity, and on and on and on. So now, instead of doing this way, let's put our little spinner box here and copy this. Okay. Goes to the wrong place. And we put it here, and we put our, this is our capacity. Okay. Our spillage of our hydro. The hydro is very interesting to look at. They gave all kind of stuff on the discharge. Now I have to go back and I'm going to fix some of this. And whoops, what's happening to some of those capacity numbers? I don't know. Okay, but what I'm going to do, God. Okay, and we're going to at some of this, okay? Okay, and you see some of these generations stopped in the last years, okay? Okay, and okay, enough of that. You get the idea. Okay, I'm going to pause this. And, well, let me just tell you before I pause it what we'll do. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a graph. And we're going to be able to say, we might want the whole period, or we might want a partial period. So we'll put another spinner box in here. This time we'll use the dates, okay? And I don't know if I have yet to figure out a way to do this without this, and of course I just wasted a whole bunch of time which I hate doing, because maybe it's best to start at the bottom, because then you can go up real fast. Maybe that's the best way to do it. So we'll do the same thing and get a just spinner box on the dates, and we'll start with different dates to get really a flexible chart. Okay. Now, when we do the dates this time, I think probably the best way to do this is with the NA trick, but we're going to I'm going to use the offset method to make a flexible range, and the reason I'm going to do that is we're going to have the day-by-day detail, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year, and we want to be able to select a different series. We want to be able to select a different series and just go from the top to the bottom, and the last date on the series might be a completely different date. This might, if it's yearly, it'll only be a few lines here, so the last date will be down here, and we want to do this flexibly, and I don't see how you could really move these things around and do it really efficiently with the NA method. Okay, so, but before I gotta pause this, and I'm going to fix a couple of little outlines. Okay, I kind of fixed the outliers, so the good news is we can just kind of look at some of these now. It's okay, these are new plants, and we can see the capacities, and then we can also just go and look at the generation. So okay, and now if we look at the do I have the total generation? This total generation here, the reason it went down to zeros is there are some NAs in here, and I think that's a worse problem with the where's the total capacity? Total capacity. See, we don't have this. Now the reason is because if you go to the total capacity, there are all these NAs, and that's just because we have some NA, because AES, those horrible people, didn't they're not horrible people, but they didn't report the capacity. Now I could find this let's make a macro. I could find this adjusted sum functions, but let's make functions, okay? And let's call it sub. I have my caps lock on. Sub adjusted sum, and read in a series. Okay, and then we'll put for I equal 1 to series dot count. Now, it's probably a good practice whenever you do this to put option base 1, so we start, and then you just say, well, if series, how about worksheet function dot if error is number, how about is number, do I have is number here, is number series. Now you don't have to even put true, that just assumes it's true. Then adj sum equal adj. Now I'm sorry if you saw me do this before. Sum plus series I, and then if worksheet function, we don't need okay, and then next I, and then if we want to put a false, you know, if there's not even one thing, we could put, no, let's just stop there. I think that's we can start with adj, oh, I've got it, dj sum equal false. Now, so we just go around and we just add it. So if we so now let's put adj sum okay, and why isn't it what did I fucking do? I put sum, I meant to put function. It figured out where to do it next function. adj. So now we just add all of these together, all the available capacities, and okay, I hope this didn't slow us down. I haven't done experiments to really see if this slows you down, but now we can have the adjusted capacity. Now I'm going to make an adjusted generation too. Okay, when we have all this generation. Now I'm gonna put, let's okay, and we want to, now first of all let's put adjusted sum, just in case we have any of these with no generation. And why did I put address? Okay, and then after we copy this, well, let's take this one minus the AES minus this one minus this one. I think, so I put a little thing. These are the three that seem to be not reported in the out years. Now, the question is, will this all work? So when we added this total new generation, total adjusted generation, let's just make sure that 68, the very first one is 68,324. That worked. Let's make sure that the next one works. the available capacity for the next one works. So this is the total adjusted generation. And for me, the story is really not good. Privatization, maybe you can say, well, this is before privatization, and privatization has not had a dramatic effect on the amount of generation. And it might have a pretty dramatic effect on the rates. Enough of the commentary. So let's call this data chart. Now let's do. This is hell. Making a video is a pain, you know. What we're going to do now is let's do the easy part. So right here, this is going to be day by day, and this. How about we'll put quarter, and then we'll put over here. We'll put no, month. Now to get the month, that's pretty easy. What we do is just put EO month of this one, comma 0. Shift Control 3, and then we have that. And then we put, now somewhere here, let me insert this, okay? And so now we can start with this. So this is month by month. And we just put an equal sign and go to EO month, comma 1. Okay? And let's, okay, that wasn't so bad. I was really afraid of this. Now, and I think right now, if you look at the date, you can't see the date on me, but we're in August. Okay? Nice August. Should be on holiday, and I'm doing this kind of crap. Now we can put average, okay, and we put equal average if, and we click on this month range. The criteria is this, and the date is this. So, and we can use our mouse and double click. Okay. So now and I think, I'm sure we have divide by 0, so perhaps we should put a if error. Now, when we do this, let's put false. Now I'm tempted, well, I'm going to. Remember what we want to do there is then put this total adjusted, and we press F11, and just, I guess it puts the false as 0, so we can see what's happened to the generation by month. But what we want to do now is somewhere over here get a graph that allows us to put day by day, month by month, and quarter by quarter, and what year by year. Now the problem with the quarterly thing is, and this time I'm gonna cheat. Yesterday, in fact, I made a video with, and I was messing around with our PDF stuff, but yesterday I made a thing with a quarter, but if we there's a half year and quarter. Now, this end of half year is a hard function, but the end of the quarter is pretty easy. This just reads in a date and defines the end of the quarter. Why Excel doesn't have an end of the quarter and has an end of the month, you can tell me. I can't tell you. Okay? And we can just go to our macros. Of course, we can't list the functions, so we'll put a end of E. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. EO quarter. Okay? So we go over here. And we put quarter. Okay, and we put EO quarter, and we just click on this one. Okay, shift control. It's just like the end of the month, really. Okay, and once we have the end of the quarter, that first quarter is going to screw us up because it's just one. It might be a little bit of an outlier. Actually, why don't we start with this quarter? And then we can put EO month and go 3 months from that. And then we get the next quarter. That better be the next quarter, and so on and so forth. Okay. And now, the good news here is that that's the last quarter we have, and of course we can, now we have quarter by quarter, and we put equal average if. You know, I'm sure some of you are saying, why don't you use a pivot table? Use a pivot table. Maybe. Okay. But I don't know. I have an open mind about that. But I think it would take longer. For me it would, at least. And let's do the same thing. Put an if error. And put a comma false, okay? And so now and of course we need this title. Why, I'll do it really fast. Okay, what just happened is I pressed F10. Am I recording? I pressed F10 instead of F11. And it stopped the video. I'm going to have to put these videos together then. Okay, so that's our quarter by quarter graph. You know, is it September? It's putting stuff in between. We might, if we met, so I guess if we met one quarter by quarter graph, you know, we might have to put this as a text axis. Huh. Okay. Maybe we'll do them all as a text axis. Okay. And now let's put the year. That's going to be the easiest part. And we put equal year. Okay, and I think we have the same problem as before. We'll start with okay, and let's just start with this one. This time just add one. Okay. Okay, and make a sum average if and this, comma, this, and this. Okay. And now, whoops. That was interesting. Why did that do that? Okay. Okay. Some of these things I just don't ask questions about. Okay. So we can make 3 different graphs, but what I'd like to do is take our data and just put our little thing here, and we want to make it different kinds of graphs. Let's see how easy that is, and I'm gonna have to think about this for just a minute. Okay, so I'm starting again, and this is getting me nervous. Now, what we're going to do is, if we make a Control F3, oops, I don't know where this came from, but let's delete this one. Oh, I think I had it before I used the NA function. What we're going to have is a new, we'll put graph. I don't know if this will work. And what we're going to do is use an offset function. And I'm going to start the offset function in A1. I can't start it I wish I could start it in 0, 0. And then if we wanted to, for example, go to a row down to row 5, we would put 4. And then if we would want to go to column 4, we would have to put 3. And the next one will be the height. So if we wanted to do 100, we do this, and then we have the column, and then we put 1. That's called graph. Okay. Now, once we have this graph, we can go to this data chart, and we can select the data, and we can edit. I think we have to edit the series, and we can go back only to the exclamation point, only to the exclamation point, and put graph. Okay, and then we have our graph data. But of course, this is the general thing we're going to do, and I think we should format this axis as a text axis. Okay. I don't know. Seems to work better. And now what we're going to do is use this whole offset concept to make it really flexible, so we can get all different kinds of graphs. And we'll start with the row, and then we'll put the column, and then we'll put the height. Now, the height will come from this drop-down box that we made. Okay. And it'll be a little bit tricky, I think, but not too tricky. We'll use the match function. So this is, I think I introduced this video as something really simple, and it's not quite this simple. I've never done this before. Now what I did is I just used the row function over here. So this just counts the row, okay? And now our start row is always going to be the same, really, unless we would put a different starting point here. Well, I suppose we could. So this could be the, let's put start. Okay, and then if we have this, we have to use the index with it. and we click on this one, and we, nope, we don't. This time, because we have to only start on the dates themselves, and we have that. So this would be the start date, but that's if a shift control 3. Excuse me. Now, if we if we did it the same thing here, oh, I'm starting to hate this. We could find this date. Just a second. We got to put a match on this one, don't we? So this says we match this one against this one. So that says that's row 32, and so we can put, if it's day by day, we'll take row 32. Okay, now if it was month by month, we put index of this one. It's not going to find it. Just a second. We just need a match of this one against the hang on, which should we take? This one or this one? This one. Right. Okay. So that gives you the 5th row. So that's we'd start, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I assume that January 10th is the 5th row. It started here, I guess. Okay. And let's do the next one, which is match of this against the this, right? Whoops. Match this against, oh, we don't have it. Messed up. Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave that. We almost need to, okay, I'm gonna, shit. And then let's put equal year of this. And we can put equal match this against the year. So the quarter by quarter is bothering me. That's 5. And so if we would start on the 2nd quarter or something, then it works fine. And I think the minimum we're going to have to put a minimum of 5 in here. Okay, so our row is this, but we have to subtract 1 because of this one. And let's put a minimum of this or 5. This is kind of not very clear, and it's okay. And then, do we have to put a max? Okay, because we will always start. Okay, I think that's right. And now the column, we put a different column. So this is the column. So all I just did is went to this column up here, and we should put -1. And then we can go to this column and put -1. And then we can go to this column, -1. And then we can go to this column and put -1. So we've got flexible height. Now the height, what we can do is do exactly the same thing for the finish here. We need to add 1. I'm just going to talk through this, and I'm going to switch the video off because this is match. And this is index. So we can, let's copy this. Now what we'll do then is, once we have this, let's go to the format control. Okay, and click on this and press OK. And now I'm going to go all the way to the end, because that's the thing we'll most of the time want to do. Now the index is of this is simply all of the dates. This one, unlike the others, I think if you're going to use the drop-down box, you need to do that. So that's the match. So the match, I think that's okay. The match of this is match this against column C. Why did we have a third thing here? This is kind of silly. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of silly. Okay. Now, I probably should add 1 to the height. So let's take this minus this plus 1, I'm pretty sure. And then we can put the height of all of these in. And then let's put the width. Okay, and that width is always going to be 1. Okay, and then what we'll do is make a drop-down box. Okay, and in the drop-down box we put the little things. Okay, and as usual, and we put probably use a faster way to do this, but I'm going slowly. Okay, and then we press OK. So now, so we got day by day or month by month, and then let's just put equal index. I hope you can see match and index are being used a lot, obviously. Okay, I don't really have to say that. Now, all we have to do is adjust that. We have to adjust that last thing we did, and with the offset function, put this for the row, this for the column, this for the height, and this for the width. We can put these on the graph. We can put this on the graph. And now we have a very flexible kind of graph that we can just take virtually anything in the database and make it from. So let's do that. Control F3, and we can move this. So why? Okay. Well, this kind of sucked. I wanted to see this. Okay, that was our starting point. And then we put this for the row, and then we put this for the column, and then we put this for the height, and we really could have put one in for this, and then we close that, say yes, keep this changes, and now okay, let's try a couple of these things. I'm totally afraid to try this. This is month by month. Let's make this day by day. And then, oof! And let's make it, probably year by year won't work. Oh yeah, it kind of worked. It didn't work with the scale, but we'll have to do the same thing with the scale. And let's make it quarter by quarter. Okay. Again, we need to adjust the X scale, but month by month. Okay. So, of course, we can copy this and put this here, and finally, we can put the start and end date too, although, okay, whoops, copy this, and let's put the start maybe over here, and the date. Okay. Okay, and I think we only really started here. If we wanted to start much later on, I'm afraid to do this kind of stuff because it might not work. Something worked. It looked like it worked. So the idea generally worked. That's a good idea. That's good news. Okay, so the only other thing we really have to do to finish our really flexible chart is to use the same kind of thing. Now, when we want to put our X scale in, we're going to take this column, this column, this column, this column, or this column. So we'll adjust the column. The row will start with the same row. So let's put the X scale here. Okay. And so let's remember what we did. So we went to it. We put this -1. The height is going to be the same, and the width is going to be the same. Actually, it's just going to be this minus 1 because it's always going to be one earlier. So that made it a little bit easier. Otherwise, I would have had to use some match and index. So let's press Control F3 again, make a new X scale. It took it, and then practice again, offset. I really hate this. I don't know if you can tell. We start with this, and then of course you could be smart and put these in yourself. I think that would be a horrible idea. And then we press OK and close, and then we on our base chart, we'll select the data, and hopefully for the X data we can do exactly the same thing we did before, and we put X scale. I hope that's what it named this, and then we press OK. So now it goes to July. It fixed the X scale day by day, and oh, this is so cool, isn't it? I hope you think this is cool. We can see kind of what's happening. And install capacity, something funny happened. I'm really interested in this one. The gas outage came dramatically down, which is really good news, but the transmission line outage went up, and some kind of frequency and diffuse, this water management outage went up. So if we look at the total outages, they've kind of come down a little bit. And let's look at the, how about we'll look at the total outages, and instead of day by day, let's look at it month by month. So that's okay, or quarter by quarter. I don't know what happened here. I'm not going to worry about it. Or year by year. Okay. I can look at the peak generation. Okay. Okay. I just can't get over that this worked. Okay. And now I'm gonna stop the video. I'm just okay.